going to go live to Genoa, where, well, this 200-metre section of bridge collapsed overnight, killing at least 35 people. More than 30 vehicles plunged to the ground when the suspension bridge gave way about midday local time, falling onto buildings below. Cries have reportedly been heard beneath the rubble, and rescuers are not giving up hope of finding survivors still. Joining us now live from Genoa, a little earlier than expected, is CNN's Ian Lee. Ian, we so appreciate you being available to us. Thank you. We know it's early there. What is the latest after the overnight searching?
John, this searching still continues, and right now I'm looking at the part of this bridge that is missing. I see large cranes that are trying to lift these huge slabs of concrete, also hearing jackhammers in the distance as they do try to find anyone who could still be alive in this twisted metal and just mountain of concrete. And to give you an idea of just how large some of these pieces of concrete are, one of them is next to a building that is 3-4 stories high. So there's a lot of concrete there to go through. And to kind of give you an idea of this bridge too, this is a kilometer-long bridge, and at the highest point, it's 300 meters. And there's a section that is missing that is hundreds of meters long, and you can just see how those at least 30 cars plunged down. We spoke with one rescue worker who was one of the first people on the scene, and he described what he saw. It was pouring rain at the time with wind gusts up to about 60 kilometers an hour. He said he was just hearing the screams and the pleas for help from people who were trapped. He also talked about how he came across one vehicle in particular, and this one stands out. He said that it was a family. The mother and the father in the front seats were crushed. He said there was a child in the back. He said they tried to rescue the child. They pulled it out. They thought he could have been alive, only to find that the child was limp and dead. Then we're just hearing tragic stories like that as this death toll is continue to rise. This is a bridge, though, that locals around here say has had problems for decades. This is a 50-year-old bridge, and they said at least up to 3 decades ago, they were seeing issues with it. And up to really last month, they were complaining to local authorities that this bridge wasn't safe. And there are communities and houses and apartments that are right next to this bridge, and they were afraid that it could fall down on them. And, fortunately, I guess if there is any silver lining, today is a major holiday in Italy. So underneath the bridge is an industrial park. People were not at work because they were preparing for the holiday. But if this bridge would have fallen any other time, locals say that death toll could be far higher, as people would have been working underneath that bridge. But today, as the sun is rising, we're still seeing this rescue effort underway. But as you know, John, as it continues, the likelihood of finding people alive, it just grows dimmer.
Ian, is there any sense of what the straw was that broke the camel's back? Why did a bridge that has been regarded with suspicion and concern by locals for years, as you say, finally give way so terribly?
The locals say its extreme weather has really taken its toll on the bridge, and it happened yesterday, where you could see in the video of people who were filming at the time that there was high winds, there was driving rain, there was lightning, and then all of a sudden one of the large pylons that holds up part of the suspension bridge just completely collapses. But the locals say that doesn't surprise them, that the weather has taken its toll. Pieces have been falling off. They say that the local government has been doing somewhat of Band-Aid work, you could say, just repairing small sections when needed. But they said that this bridge really needed structural overhaul, possibly even a new bridge. But the authorities said that it would take up to 3 years to build a new bridge, and this is a major artery that connects Italy and France. And so they said that they would prefer doing just spot maintenance instead of real structural maintenance. And so authorities say they're going to look into this. They believe this is a cause of structural failure. And right now, we're also hearing the architect who designed this bridge. They're looking at his other structures that he built just to see if there's other major flaws in them.
Ian Lee from CNN, we appreciate it. It's early in the morning there. We appreciate you have to file for CNN, which is your real job. We're so grateful for your time. Thanks, Ian, for joining us live from Genoa.